And again, I think the hard part for me is, I love the passion of Big Blue Nation. Nobody loves it better than me. Now, again, I've been drawn the ire of Kentucky fans a lot of times because, again, I felt like I was pretty much down the middle when it came to Cal. And I think now people can kind of see that. I wrote some really good things about Nick Richards and John Wall and all the players, and even Cal a few years ago coming out of the pandemic. I said he should get another year. Like, there were some people at that point that were like, let's get rid of him. And I'm like, give him another year. And then I think maybe 2 years ago, I was like, all right, it's time. It's time for both sides to go their own way. And so, yeah, it's weird being back like this. It's weird walking in, last year with Tennessee, the game. And
people were coming up to you asking for pictures in Lexington. That doesn't happen.
I don't know if I'd ever thought that was ever going to happen.
I know, right?
My
favorite part
is generally very in person. Like, we did the Kentucky Derby, my wife and I, 7-8 years ago. And I had a ton of Kentucky fans come up to me and be nice. In person, generally you're getting, like the other day at the Bourbon, whatever, Beyond Festival, people coming up to me all the time. And again, Kentucky fans, Louisville fans, whatever. But I think the difference now is feeling welcome by Mark Pope and the staff. It's different now with Cal. He never trusted me. I never trusted him. I always felt like, again, whatever he said was, listen, it was whatever he wanted to get out there. That's what he would try to turn the message to. Whatever you'd ask him, Jack knows this better than anybody. Whatever you'd ask him.
He had a narrative already in mind.
It didn't matter. The question was irrelevant. It didn't matter. He was going to answer it the way he wanted to answer it. So I just think Kentucky fans have slowly come to realize what I always thought of John Calipari. Best recruiter in the country, great used car salesman,
fair,
average to above average coach, who, again, I think has lost his fastball a little bit.
Yeah.
And the work ethic that drove him to be a dominant coach. And I think his staff needs reshaping.
Let me just kind of – I'm going to take what Goodman just said and translate it for you guys.
All right.
Kentucky fans, it took a while, but I was right. And you see that I'm right now.
That's a hell of a translation. That's absolutely right. Yes.
So your relationship with Cal is what it is, and it's not just a neutral replacement with Pope. You go from foe to friend with Mark Pope. How did that kind of work out where you guys already have your friendship, your relationship, and now you do have a friendship with a head coach at Kentucky where you're welcome into practice to do a live show with all the players and all the staff members?
Yeah, I mean, I've just known Pope for a long time and know a lot of people around Pope. Known Mark Fox forever. So can I tell the Arizona story about Pope that I told last night?
If you want to.
So
might as well. There's not anybody listening right now.
I really should.
It's just
I'll leave
us,
the name out.
It's just us. It's just for us.
I'll leave the one coach's name out. Anyway, I went to school at Arizona. I rarely get involved in any of these things. Arizona, a couple years ago when they were going to hire Tommy Lloyd, came out. It was going to be Tommy Lloyd. And then they kind of ran, the AD at the time, Dave Hickey, they didn't want to make it look like it was already wired for Tommy Lloyd. So they started saying another name. Not going to say who the name was at that point. Another name was going to be in the mix. I kind of freaked out because it was like a Bully Clyde type.
Right.
So I'm like, I called Steve Kerr, Arizona guy. I'm like, Steve, this guy, it shouldn't happen. So Steve kind of got that guy out. And then I said to Dave Hickey, you should look at Mark Pope. And the next day, he actually had an interview with Arizona. And I guess he crushed it. But, again, didn't get the Arizona job. It was already hooked up for Tommy Lloyd. But he well could have had the Arizona job.
Wow.
But that's how much I thought of Mark Pope at the time. Think about it. It's my alma mater, and I'm not well-liked by my alma mater at all. They hate me there. Hate me right now.
Did you say something bad about them also?
Yeah, I mean,
Is he breathing?
Is what it is.
Is he breathing? My favorite part about Goodman is he's like, these people don't like me. I'm not well-liked there. I'm not well-liked here. I'm not well-liked in this college town. And he's like, I'm just such a victim when you love poking the bear.
I would love to go back to Tucson and not have to, I've had to actually check in under other names in Tucson. That's how bad it is in the hotels.
Well, the thing with Matt here in KSR, you guys had a good relationship.
We did.
Then it kind of went south. But you've mended fences.
We made up. We
kissed and made up.
Last year.
Yes, you did last year.
For the Tennessee game, we had breakfast, and I think part of it, honestly, goes back to, again, I wasn't on Team Cal.
Yeah.
He was on Team Cal.
Yes.
Heavy for a long time, and then it flipped. And he apologized for some things. I apologized for some things. And, I'm getting older. I'm getting a little softer, a little nicer. I moved to Charleston, right? The Bostonian in me is gone.
Yeah.
So I got to be a little bit nicer.
You got kind
I'm
of
a Southerner.
you got the beach vibe.
I'm a Southerner now, so I can't be an asshole all the time. So, no, I think it was good to sit down with Matt. It was good to sit down with Matt. I love Jack. I think Jack's one of the most talented people.
Oh, look at this.
No,
Babyface Jack Pilgrim.
I mean that sincerely. I've watched you, from
Blossom.
afar and up close for a long time. There aren't many like you out there. I don't know how old you are. How old are you now?
28.
Yeah.
He's got babies now. He's like growing up right in front of our eyes.
I know he does, but he is a worker. He's smart. I would say that if he were here or not here, there aren't many like Jack out there right now.
Oh.
How about that?
I appreciate that. You advocated for Mark Pope with Arizona, but I think the Kentucky job was a little bit of a different story. It was such a polarizing just decision in real time where fans had the Hurleys and the Billy Donovans and the just dreaming as big as possible. Scott Drew, and then it felt in real time that it was they settled for Mark Pope. So you advocated for him at your alma mater.
Yeah.
Did you advocate for Pope in real time with Kentucky? And did the year one results, did it shock you at all at how well he kind of embraced it and, reached history?
I thought it would be higher than Mark Pope. I think we all did. I think we all thought, hey, man, it's not going to fall that far. But it fell that far, obviously with Billy Clyde years ago. Like, the landscape is different. These guys have huge buyouts now.
Yeah.
Right? Nate Oates was kind of immovable at that point. I thought he would have been the perfect guy, right?
A lot of people did.
Nate Oates in Lexington.
Yeah.
With the style of play and with his personality.
Perfect.
It would have worked.
Yeah.
It would have worked. So I didn't think it would be Pope when at first everything – I thought maybe Scott Drew and then obviously his family. That didn't work out. I wonder if Scott has some regrets now with the way the landscape has changed and Baylor doesn't have money and now Kentucky's going to have money, right? If he had known this, where we are in the world of college basketball, I'm not sure he would have turned it down. But, again, I think it was more a family decision. Pope's perfect, man. He's perfect for the job because he knows it, he embraces it, and he won enough to be able to now walk around and be beloved. Because I think a lot of people a year ago today, Rob, we all were like, hope it works, but I'm not sure yet. Not sure whether Pope can do it at Kentucky. They won so many close games early that got him that momentum, had a good year, and now everybody's all in on Mark Pope.
I think part of it, too, is that he understands when you come here, you're going to be living in the fishbowl, right? Like that's just what it is. When you are the head coach at Kentucky, you are the head coach at one of the biggest, probably the biggest college basketball program in the country, right? And I think that there's an element of when you are, let's just take Nate Oates. You gave that example, right? When you're the head coach at Alabama, it's different because you're not the football coach. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like when you're the head coach at Baylor, it's not the fan base is different. The pressure is different. The way that you can go out to dinner and not have 25 people come up to you and ask you for pictures is different. And you have to want to be a part of that and understand what it means. And he does. He's been here. He played here. He won a championship here. And I think that we undervalued the importance of being able to embrace that part of the job. And I think that Mark Pope does it as well as anybody.
He's so authentic.
He is.
That's the thing. Going from Cal to him.
Night and day, in a lot of ways.
Crap.
Yeah.
Well, because I always said, like, used car salesman for Cal, you don't feel like you're being sold anything by Mark Pope, right? It just feels real.
Here's the perfect example of who Pope is in my eyes, right? I brought my son to Peach Jam this year. He's 9 years old. And the first day that we were there, he's walking with me and Jeff, and we walk by, and we're watching like some U16 game, and Pope is literally the only guy sitting there on the front row at Peach Jam. And we go and we sit down next to him, and my son sits down right next to Pope, and he just ignores me and Goodman just talks to my son for like 10 minutes watching the game.
That's the kind of guy he is.
About like baseball or pitching or I don't even know what they were talking about.
Yeah.
So we go and then we get lunch and then we walk back into the gym and I don't know if you've been there, Ryan.
Yeah.
But you've been there, Jack. Yep. You know how when you walk into the main gym, you walk down those steps and then there's like 30 people that just kind of stand at the bottom of those steps. And I got caught up talking to someone and I thought Chase was right next to me. I turn around like 5 minutes later. I'm like, where did he go? I look over. Pope was still sitting there courtside. Chase had walked up and sat right next to him, and they're just sitting there talking again. And I'm like, what? Where did this come from? Like, why are you over there? That's the head coach at Kentucky. Like, you don't even know what you're doing right now. You don't even know that you're not supposed to be doing that as a 9-year-old. But Pope just sat there and talked to him, and it was great.
We got to take a break.